Peace and love. 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 Hey y'all. It's the Queen Seven coming up here. Y'all already know she come up here to yell at y'all about what's real. We do not come up here to holler at y'all for nothing. Anyway, y'all, I got a story to tell. Well, a testimony, I guess. Y'all know I don't really get too personal in my business, but I gotta do this, for some apparent reason I have to speak this truth. But anyway, well, myself, like everybody else probably have, been in terrible relationships, in my past. It's like all I attracted was people that was not of my highest vibration. Let's just say that, because this video is not to bash nobody or nothing like that. But back in the day, I did not, let's just say, I didn't know how to choose healthy options when it came to relationships, right? So I attracted a lot of people that was not for my best, frequency. And majority of the guys that I migrated to were drug dealers or womanizers or whatever, because I was like the ultimate drug dealer girlfriend. Like, for some apparent reason, the majority of the guys I dated in the past was dope dealers. And, like I tell people, you only attract, you only look for, your father figure in, your men. And when I didn't have a father figure to look up to in my actual household, I pretty much just made up my own image of what I thought a man should be. So I went out in the streets and I found a street man or street men. And so, moral of the story is I went through a lot of trauma, toxicity, and just narcissism and just ickiness, right? And I prayed, like most normal people would do, pray and ask God to remove from the toxicity, the negativity. And a lot of times, we'll pray and say, well, God, if you remove me or remove this person away from me or get me away from this thing or whatever, I won't ever go back. I'll never do it again. And oftentimes we pray, and guess what? When God gets you up out of it, guess what you do? Take your butt right on back and do the same thing that you just prayed and said that you wasn't going to do, right? So that's why I'm having this conversation with y'all, because I have done that. I can remember being in this relationship, this one relationship specifically, since I was a teenager, I was on and off, hot and cold with this one person. And he was like very edgy, it was like he was risky, for some apparent reason. I love the risk, the idea of being with a risky person. And I was risky myself. So, I'm with this person, and really our relationship, was more so toxic than it was healthy. And I mean, I went through ups and downs to the point where me and this person was at each other's throat. Like, it was either he was going to kill me, I was going to kill him, or we was going to end up in jail or something. Like, in either way, that was toxic. And, you got to pray and ask the universe to get you out of some stuff, a couple of times, and then you keep going back. After a while, God ain't going to want to rescue your butt, right? So I prayed and prayed and prayed, and a couple of times I did go back, and the last time it got so bad to the point where my life was threatened. This person was like, I'll kill you, and leave you somewhere stink, and nobody'll find you. And I was just like, wow, for this person to come out of their mouth, to dig it out of their spirit, to say something like that to me, I was just like, God, you know what? I'm done at this point. Because it's either kill or be killed. And, when you're in a situation like that, you need to stop and think, like, God, is this for me? Obviously, it's not, if it's threatening your life, right? But a lot of us, we love to be in toxic relationships because we are conditioned to think that toxic is love, because we might have grown up in, a toxic environment, or, seeing toxic relationships, and thinking that, oh, this is healthy. So you end up being in those type of relationships when you get older. So, I attracted other toxic relationships, throughout my life that did not serve me at all. Bonnie and Clyde type of ride or die relationships. And guess what? You gonna die, all right. You gonna ride, you gonna die. You keep on riding, you gonna die. I had to realize that. So I had to just, once I went on my spiritual journey and realized that these people would not choose me. They would not ride or die for me. These people would not put on gasoline draws, go to hell for me. No, they're They're not. So at some point I had to stop the toxicity, you know. And a lot of us, like the women, a lot of us women attract a lot of toxic guys, and we love to say, well, all men and all women are the same. Even men do it, all women are the same, all men are the same. No, it's the frequency that you're on. I felt like that at one point. All men are the same. All the men that I keep attracting are the same kind of man, just in a different body. But really what it was is that I was moving from situation or relationship without healing, to relationship. I was skipping from one to another before I actually healed the last situation on why I attracted that person anyway. So like I tell people, abuse is abuse, and I attracted abusive relationships even though I didn't have physical abusive relationships, but I did have emotional. Most of my relationships were emotionally abusive. And so, like I tell people, and verbally, I dealt with verbal abuse as well. And I'm pretty sure I was abusive to some people in the past, because don't get it twisted, that good was not always sweet. But at the end of the day, I had to change my frequency so that I could stop attracting the same kind of people. So now that I'm changing my frequency, I'm no longer attracting those same kind of people, but I do have some of the people from the past who want to try to come back and, hey, use my spirituality against me. And that's why I'm having this video, is to be mindful that when you grow and you ask God to help you to grow and glow up from a situation, the object is to stay away from the situation. Don't allow the enemy to come back and trick you, with what you're doing or what you got going on at that point in time back into your life. Like me, for an example, I'm a spiritual person, right? So this, enemy want to come and say, hey, the universe told me to write you in your DM. And I'm like, the universe? So I laugh, because people think because you're spiritual, you're stupid. No, I'm spiritual. I'm not stupid. So when I see the message saying, oh, well, the universe told me to write you. Well, what did the universe tell you to write me? Oh, to ask you out on a date. No, the universe didn't. Stop lying on the universe. And that's why I made a video a while back saying God ain't told you shit. A lot of people will use, especially like, say, for example, you probably used to be the biggest hair raiser, but you decide to go and change your life and become a nun or whatever. I don't care. But you decide to go and change your life. So then, boom, all the people from your past want to start coming back. But this time they want to use what you're doing now in your life to try to get back into your life. So because people know I'm spiritual, now they want to come and say, oh, the Most High, oh, the universe told me to come back to you. Well, did you know that was a lie? That was a lie. I say, why would the universe, the same universe that I prayed to and asked me to remove me from you, why would that same universe tell me to go back to you? Right? So you got to be mindful of the enemy trying to trick you back into your old ways, trick you back into that old address where you no longer live anymore. Right? If you're trying to grow, you got to know you're going to have tests. Every level bring a new devil. So every test, you're going to have a test. When you start elevating, you're going to have the enemy try to come back and test you. Say, for example, if you're an alcoholic, you're trying to go clean, clean yourself up. But then somebody waving alcohol in your face. And then after a while, you getting tempted. See, that's the trick of the enemy, right? So this person who DM'd me because the universe told him to was one of the most toxic people that I ever had in my life. And like I said, I'm not here to bash nobody, but I got to speak my truth, because let's be real. This person ain't always had nice things to say about me. But at the end of the day, why would that same universe have me come back to you when you threatened my life when you had me? When you had me in your presence, you didn't appreciate me. You didn't love me. You didn't care for me. You didn't none of that. You feel what I'm saying? You was just there taking up space, I guess. So my thing is now that that person is gone from your space, why come back and lie and say, hey, the universe, don't lie on God. Find you something safe to do, because this is not it. So somebody needed this message. I don't care if you went off and became a pastor, and you used to be, like I said, a drug head or something back in the day. Don't let the drug dealer come back and wave drugs in your face and you fall back into the okie doke. No, it's a test. It's a test. I was tested today, and I ain't gonna lie. Loving myself is the best resolution. And I'm so grateful for loving myself, because I thank God for a lot of those toxic relationships, even though at the time I was in them, I wasn't grateful for them because I was like, why? Why I got to be hurt? Why I got to go through all this? But I went through all those ugly situations so that I could learn my worth. Learn what I deserve, learn that I was lovable and I was more than enough, because the more I allowed myself to be and stay in toxic relationships, the less I felt enough, the more I felt depleted and, didn't belong or nobody would ever accept me, insecure, and that's what the enemy wants. The enemy want to trick you out of your worth, right? So I was tricked a lot of times, and a lot of times my weakness was because of my man. I felt like, I needed a man to validate me. I needed a friend to validate me. I needed a family member to validate me, right? So I got codependent on toxic relationships and situationships and family ships, any ship. I got codependent on them. And those were the ones that literally backfired on me. So now that I decided, okay, well, God, you know what? Because those heartbreaks caused me to harden my heart, caused me to walk away and not want to discuss love, not want to talk about love, don't even want to be around love and, any type of relationship or anything of that nature, And part of that was good and part of it was bad because God did not want me to harden my heart, but he also wanted me to pull myself back away from whatever I thought was love to go and heal, to find out what love really was. And loving myself was the best resolution. So now that I'm in a real relationship with myself, people think I'm actually like tied down to a person, but the person I'm tied down to committed to at this point in time is myself and the Most High God. And this is the best relationship I could have ever been in. Not saying that I don't need a man, not saying that I don't need friends or anything of that nature, but I had to pull away from all of those toxic places if I wanted to grow so that I can go and evolve and attract a healthier tribe around myself. And that's what's been happening. And I thank God for the old tribe because it helped me get to where I am now. I don't hate or have no hard feelings for none of my exes, none of my old friends, none of my family that I might not communicate with anymore. None of that. The thing is that I have elevated and evolved from who I used to be. You feel what I'm saying? The old me is dead and gone. And a lot of people haven't wrapped their mind around the fact that she ain't the same no more. And so, this person saying, well, you've been gone away from me too long. Well, what that mean? Because it's been years. I mean, years. And it's like, well, you've been gone away from me too long. I had to give you some time to clear your head and clear your thoughts. Mine is cleared, but I think now is your time. Well, what that mean? I think your head a little clouded because for some apparent reason you thought out of umpteen years that I was going to step back into the past. Devil, you tried it. So I just wanted to do this video to speak up and speak out for other people who don't want to speak out. But at the end of the day, for all the exes who might be friends with me now, who see me, who watching me, because I'm friends with a lot of people that I probably didn't talk to in the past back in the day or whatever, because I'm the type of person I never try to end nothing on a bad note, Thank you, But if you know that you broke my heart, if you know you cheated on me, if you know you lied on me, you betrayed me, you deceived me, you did anything that was low vibrational, I was good to you. Because majority of the people, I remember I was good to a lot of you. Now, I wasn't perfect. I know I didn't, I broke a couple hearts myself, and those people I got to right my wrongs with. But to the people that didn't right their wrongs with me, don't try to come your ass back in my life talking about the universe. Listen, when you used to probably jank me or talk about me when I did say the word universe, or when I began to be spiritual, or when you saw me on the videos outside dancing or touching the grass and, hugging the tree, many of you shunned me. You talked about me, and you laughed at me. And now you in my DM talking about the universe said. I said, find you something safe to do, because I ain't it. So somebody need to do this, because many of you probably dealing with people coming from the past that you probably forgot about, ain't even thought twice about, like out the nowhere, out the woodwork. Hey, God told me. Because, see, they know you go to church now, so now they want to come in there and throw the Bible scriptures at you. But soon as you give back into their mess, it's going to be 10 times worse than what it was before you prayed and asked God to get you away from them. And all that Bible crap that they did to get you, going to be out the window soon they got you. Because it's a tactic to pull you back in. It's called a trap. Trap. Spiritual traps are real. So be mindful. Okay? You can't say you ain't know. You can't say you ain't know. I had to get on here and speak my truth and let y'all in a little bit on my business. Okay? A lot of people be looking at me and they be like, Seven, why, this person want, I don't need y'all bringing no toxicity to me. What's meant for me will come to me naturally. And trust me, it is not going to be of a lower realm. Okay? And if God sent it, I would know God sent it. And the DM ain't it. The DM ain't it, because too many people do the DM. So try another way. That wasn't it. Try again. You missed. I'm so tickled. Y'all, I laugh so bad. That man said the universe told me to write you. I said, oh, really? And what did the universe tell you to write me about? To ask you to go out, to take you out on a date. Sir. That's how they get you. Yeah, because I love dates. As any woman want to be taken out on a date and wined and dined and loved on, right? But she don't want to be abused after the fact because she ain't trying to come up off of her most prized possessions. No. She don't want to be forced against her will. No. She don't want to be threatened to get killed. No, that's not love. So, I'm no longer at that address anymore. I don't reside in hell no more. You feel me? See, like I tell people, heaven and hell is a mindset. It's a state of mind. It's a mindset where you set your mind in. You gonna live in heaven or is you gonna live in hell? And I've had my hellish days. I've lived in hell plenty of days. And Lord knows I don't want to go back. So I choose heaven. And I ain't trying to be better than nobody and perfect and none of that. But if hell is where you choose to reside, then by all means go ahead and wallow in it. But do not try to pull God's people back into that. If you see that these people are trying to get out, if you see that these people have made it out, have healed themselves, and you ain't tried to help them heal, if you ain't even offered these people an apology, a genuine apology, don't think that you have a place to be able to pop back up and just say, oh, let's go out. What happened to I'm sorry? I apologize. I threatened you. I killed you many times. I talked about you. I started lies about you. Whatever. These people know what they did. They know why they got X'd out of your life, but people want to act like they don't. You ain't got to sit there and explain it to them. But it was just crazy because when he was in mine, I just told him this morning, listen, bless you, and you had yourself a good day. But find you something safe to do, because I'm not it. And I wasn't going to sit there and I wasn't even going to do this video, but my heart was just pounding, and spirit was like, somebody need this message. So do not fall in the trap of what once oppressed you, what was once an addiction to you, what was once you were once codependent to. Don't fall back into that. If you prayed and asked God to pull you away from that mess, then by all means, the least you can do is hold your mule. Gain some discipline. You feel me? Stand strong and do not turn back to that wickedness. If you know that you made it out, don't turn your ass back, because I promise you it's going to be 10 times worse than what it was before you left that situation. the last 20,000 times. I know. Because trust me, every time I prayed that prayer and took my little tail back in every situation, it didn't matter what it was, it got worse. Why? Because for one, I wasn't addressing the real issue, and the real issue was myself. Why did you attract that person, place, or thing in your life in the first place, Seven? How? Because you had abandonment issues, because you wanted to feel love, because you wanted a father image, so you went and found guys older than yourself, thinking that you would find your father in them. You went out looking for drug dealers because you felt like you grew up in poverty all your life, so you wanted somebody that you felt like was going to take care of you, you know. But guess what? That money came with a price. Okay? My peace was robbed. I was robbed of my peace plenty of days because of my choices. So once I realized why I was attracting a lot of these toxic people, then I had to go and sit down with myself and have a conversation with me and God and realize, God, I don't want to keep going. I don't deserve this. So let me heal those abandonment issues, those codependent issues, that lack mentality, that I'm not enough, those insecurities, whatever. Let me heal all of those things so that whenever I do attract somebody for me, it's going to be of a higher vibration because that's where I reside. So I hope this message makes sense. I'm finna get off of here because I got stuff to do. I love y'all. Y'all share this live. Let me see who up on hurt. Hey, y'all. My little two people. Hey, Romy. Hey, Moosie. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Y'all share this live. I'm finna go because I got stuff to do. Stay beautiful. Peace and love. And stay out of trouble. Don't let the devil trick you. Peace and love.